Probably nobody will ever see this video, and if they do, fine. If not, whatever. Makes me feel better to put it out there. Early last year, I finally made up my mind to buy a ballistic helmet, did some research, decided to pull the trigger. I placed an order for an Armor Source AS200. The vendor I chose for this was Midwest Armor due to them having a wide selection of the various Armor Source models in plenty of colors. My order was created back on March 3rd, 2024. Be ready to hear this a lot, that's 326 days ago. My personal window for purchases of this nature is the estimated time plus an additional 2 weeks. If I haven't heard any updates or seen any activity, I give them a buffer of 2 more weeks before I reach out. That brings us to my next action, which was April 18th, 2024. I send them an email, explain the situation, and ask for a ballpark. I get an email back April 19th, 2024, which is the next day, saying first or second week of May, based on how I see the helmets rolling in. If I could trouble you, pay close attention to the language there. I see the helmets rolling in. This is the present tense. It's our current state of being. It's happening. They are in fact rolling in. Well, the first and second week of May come and go. The next action I take is to email them again on June 4th, 2024. I get a same-day reply which tells me they will have information from Armor Source the following day. The following day comes and goes. I don't hear back until June 6th, telling me the helmets will be shipping our way by Tuesday. That'd be Tuesday the 11th. Cool, not too bad, except nothing happens that day, nor any of the days leading up to my next action. June 16th, 2024. I want to hear about the experiences of others. Maybe I picked a bad vendor. I made a Reddit post. I get some replies, industry-wide delays, have faith. I also get a review of a bad experience, similar to the one that I'm having now, but I didn't realize at the time. But they made a promise to make it right for that customer, including an upgrade to a better helmet and a full refund. Free helmet. There you go. Oh, and Midwest Armor replied too. I get apologies, a promise to follow up, and the discussion moves to Reddit chat. They need time to look into the order. They assure me they'll reach back to me here being the Reddit chat. That's good, I'll know exactly where to look for more information. Except, between that time and our next correspondence, they decide the conversation should move to the phone. June 17th, the following day, they cold call me at work. I missed the call. If they left me a voicemail, I don't have it anymore. But I can tell you that even if a voice message was left, it contained fuck all in the way of information, meaning I had to crawl back to them and ask for a future update again at a later time. Our next interaction is a little awkward, a little weird, leads to nothing, it's small talk. Just tried to call you, by the way, always find it helpful to call folks live. Sorry I missed your call, I'm at work for about 3 more hours. I hope you had a good 3 hours. Whatever it was they had to say, they weren't giving it up easily. I sent a chat on June 19th, no reply. I sent a chat on June 21st, no reply. Clearly, Reddit chat isn't working anymore, so I text them on June 22nd. I don't get a reply until June 23rd, telling me they'll look into it again. Then a reply on June 26th saying the information they had from Armor Source at the time was indicating July 8th. I'd like to point out the absurdity of the fact that from June 17th to June 26th, all I knew was that they had something to tell me, some kind of update to give me, but I couldn't actually obtain the information from them for 9 days. July 8th comes and goes with no activity on my order. I continue to wait. I made my next move on July 22nd by sending them a text, since that was where most of our most recent correspondence was. They ghost me. I text again on July 25th, nothing. I waited for 8 days for them to answer my text and they never did. July 31st, I called their phone number. Nobody was available to take the call. I left a voice message, which the voicemail box instructs you to do. In the afternoon, I reach out to them on Instagram explaining that I've been trying to get in contact and haven't heard back. They answered my message within 60 seconds, stating how odd it was and to expect to hear back soon. That afternoon, I get a phone call from Midwest Armor. If they provided me with an updated ETA, I don't remember it, and the reason for that is the conversation went a little interesting. First of all, it was implied that my choice of foliage green was contributing to the delay. I don't want to harp on this too much because I don't remember exactly what he said, and it was a side comment anyway, but it's interesting to note, something to the effect of foliage green not being a common color or easy to get a hold of. The second piece of info I got was that the helmet I ordered would no longer come with arc rails. All bolted helmets got switched to M-LOK rails, and I was never informed of it prior to July 31st. Keep that in mind because it'll come back later. There's an additional layer to the customer service failure here that I want to be sure to point out. This information was delivered to me very matter-of-factly and with no alternatives suggested. You do know those come with M-LOK now, right? It was delivered with the implication that I should have already known, and no alternative was offered with the rails that I wanted and paid for, This too we'll revisit later. While all this is going on, you need to understand the background of the weekly and bi-weekly Midwest Armor complaint posts cropping up on Reddit. Put yourself in my shoes. You're doing business with a company. You gave them money, and you expected them to deliver a product or service to you in a reasonable manner. You start seeing all this bad publicity directed at them while you yourself are going through a negative experience. But the blood-boiling part is that they offer the world and more to everyone else, and they have nothing to give you but half-hearted apologies, missed deadlines, broken promises, implications that the issues you face are your fault. The list goes on. Meanwhile, there are many such cases of people being promised upgrades, refunds, but still receiving their product, nylon, a little bit of everything, store credit.
Customer service is willing to issue full refunds in the worst case scenario, while still promising to fulfill the original order. We took care of the customer. There was an issue with the special request on the helmet. We figured out a better solution, got them upgraded, and we also fully refunded them for the issue, as well as gave them some gear on us. I changed my helmet configuration, eventually ended up asking for a refund, and Midwest said they'd send the helmet anyways, but I have yet to see anything from that. I ended up canceling my order and bought a PGD helmet. Midwest did say that they would still ship me the helmet for free. Still haven't heard anything. To me, it's bad business. In their defense, still have responded and sent me a refund and claimed they'll send me an upgraded helmet, but I would have gladly forgot all that just to have the product 6 months ago. Honestly, they eventually shipped me my plates, but they were also about 5 months late, and they told me repeatedly just another week. I felt like I was getting fucked around a good bit. They said they'd send me some nylon to make up for the issues, and then never did. I did get my M81 helmet cover for free, though, and it's pretty sick. They would refund and still send the helmet. I promised nylon gear and store credit on October 17th, and I did not forget. I have a list of folks I need to send gear to. I was waiting for multicam stock to rebuild back as we had run low on inventory for it. Also, your store credit is in your account. I've been dealing with the exact same thing as I bought my helmet in August of last year, and it's November, and I still get the same response. They even said they'd upgrade me to a Galvian Cayman and then didn't tell me when it would ship or anything.
Granted, these are all promises, and God only knows if they were ever delivered, but the inconsistency is apparent to you. August 4th, 2024. It had been 154 days since I parted with my cash, and I had nothing to show for it. The weekly Midwest Armor complaint post was up. I was pissed off, so I left a comment. Despite not making the original post, they replied to my comment the same day, August 4th, with the following.
We will fix the order to be what you wanted, and you won't have to wait extra long for it. We're giving everyone nylon who's been waiting over extended period of time. We've just been waiting for a shipment to reach out and do it at the same time as we go, but we can change that up and start reaching out to folks sooner and get them nylon gear before their helmet. We'll sort through that this week and get everyone taken care of.
And at the risk of spoiling things for you, I'd like to point out that August 4th was 172 days ago. In addition to their reply, we re-established contact through Reddit chat. I got clarification that only the bolted helmet was switched to M-LOK rails. If I wanted arc rails, I could still have them. I'd just have to switch to boltless. Wish I knew that. I personally had no issues with this, so I okayed the change on the condition that my order not be delayed further by my change, and they assured me there would be no additional delay. Now, here's where the chat gets interesting.
We have been waiting for Armor Source to do new photos. I don't even have any helmets to take pictures of. We haven't had a shipment since January. So once the new batch comes in, we will update everything. And they told us about the bolted issue about 2 months ago. So all net new to us as well, unfortunately. I can still get you out of the same batch, no extra delay. So same config you have, just with arc rails boltless.
Let's make some points here. 1. Midwest Armor received news of the change to M-LOK rails on bolted helmets about 2 months ago. 2 months prior to August 4th would be early June. Despite this, I was never contacted about the change. No phone call, no text, no email, no facsimile, no nothing. It's not like we hadn't already been in touch multiple times at that point. Additionally, their website still, to this day, January 23rd, 2025, displays the product with arc rails. It did when I placed the order. It did when they informed me of the change. It does now. To my knowledge, it has never been updated to reflect that the product shown will differ from what you receive. Midwest has a reason for this, wrong as it may be, which brings us to the next point. 2. They haven't received a helmet shipment since January. Let me say that one again. They have not received a shipment since January. On Friday, April 19th, 2024, when they told me helmets were rolling in, that was a lie. Not only was it a lie, but their correspondence dated August 4th suggested it had been 3 months minimum since they had a helmet roll in. On May 10th, 2024, when they claimed to have shipped an overdue helmet out to a user, I hesitate to say they lie, but I will go so far as to say I don't know how such a thing could be possible when they haven't had an Armor Source helmet in since January. This is also from May 10th, 2024.
Working hard to improve this too. Should be within normal lead times by end of May across the board. Worked hard to set up a better line process for all the consumer orders. And yes, anything we make we have full control over as we make right here, not in some other place like PR or somewhere else or outsourced, so we can easily adjust and manage.
What does this mean? What does this work actually look like? You have nothing. You got nothing. There is nothing. Since January. What does working hard mean here? Every step of the way, they assure that the item will ship on X day. They make a big deal to go online and demonstrate they're actively working on the problem. They name search and jump on any mention of themselves in any thread to apologize, compensate, and posture. It all amounts to nothing. That's enough of other people's orders for now. Let's return to my personal interaction with them. We left off on August 4th, 2024. They confessed to me they haven't had a helmet shipment since January. They admitted to knowing they couldn't deliver my helmet as ordered originally because it was no longer offered. They were probably never going to inform me about it if I hadn't reached out. Whatever. Now my order is updated to the product I want, and I've been assured there will be no further delays. August 23rd, 2024, I reached out for an update on Instagram again. The follow-up comes in the form of a text message stating the new date is the first week of September. Smiley face. September comes and goes. I reach out again on October 3rd, 2024. It's now been 214 days. I'm told they'll get back in touch with me on Monday. Naturally, this means, of course, that they text me on Tuesday, October 8th, 2024, simply letting me know that they didn't have any date to give me yet, and that they're working on options. The next update comes October 21st, 2024, and in a rare move from Midwest, we get our first proactive correspondence. Everything up to this point has been contact I initiated, but they managed to break their reactive reply streak and do something proactive. And it's nothing to report. Still working on options, but I'm not forgotten. And in a perfect return to form, I don't hear from them again until I send them a text on November 11th, 2024, asking what options they had available. I don't hear back until November 13th. By the way, congratulations, Anna, and thank you for being the only person to reach out to me the way customer service should. They let me know the alternative helmet is a Cayman helmet. Yes, a helmet that's about $1,500 more expensive than the one I initially wanted. And they made sure I knew how expensive it was too. However, they did speak of a deep discount that they could offer with more details to come in a phone call. I would get a phone call the same day explaining to me that there was currently no ETA on the original Armor Source helmet that I wanted. They were unsure that I would ever get it. The aforementioned deep discount meant that I would still have to shell out somewhere between $1,250 and $1,400, meaning the best that they could offer me for lending them $500 for 326 days was a maximum $250-ish discount. I feel so blessed. I politely informed the rep that I wanted the spec sheet and wanted to think about it. I was assured the spec sheet would be sent to me. As you may guess, I never got a spec sheet nor an offer in writing. So what made me get off my ass today and make this damn video? Well, there's another new Midwest Armor complaint post on Reddit, and I discovered something interesting. You see, they're currently carrying Protection Group Denmark helmets and are working through their backlog as we speak. Of course, almost every single thing they've ever said of this nature has been totally full of shit, so who really knows? But something about finding out that they were offering affordable options after being asked to part with an additional $1,000+ just tickled me in such a way that I find myself here today. I'm also highly amused that they never told me this after waiting for my order for 326 days. I found out because they played damage control on someone else. I haven't heard from Midwest since November 13th, 2024, and when I do, I'll be sure to let you know. To any customer service rep who attempted to help me with this issue or is featured here or elsewhere, you have my sympathies. I've worked under management who would choose to throw you under the bus. I would be ashamed, embarrassed, and infuriated to work for whoever's in charge. That would be the person who's tying both your hands behind your back and throwing you to the wolves. It's whoever made the decision to forego extra precautions, whoever made the decision to delay the display of the banner for extended lead times, whoever made the decision to delay the addition of a checkbox acknowledging long lead times, whoever made the decision to not inform customers about the switch to M-LOK rails, whoever made the decision to continuously give bogus ETAs knowing full well the company hasn't received an Armor Source order since January, whoever made the decision to lie to everyone about the problem constantly being worked on, whoever made the decision to delay the inevitable, which was to outright disable the ability to purchase Armor Source helmets after almost a full year of not receiving inventory. That person sounds miserable to work for, and I hope the customers with outstanding orders have taken that into account and not made your job too hellish. I like this interaction where a user tries to point out that they have learned almost nothing and been doing this for months, because it plays out in such a funny way. The point completely whooshes over Midwest Armor's head, and they start getting all defensive saying they never copy-paste replies.
This is basically a copy pasta at this point. I'm tired of seeing you say the same thing over and over and over again. Dude, quit telling customers it'll ship in a week and then not ship it in a week. Just tell your customers, I don't know when it will be in, but as soon as it does, it will ship immediately and you'll get an email. It might take up to 195 plus days. Actually, not a copy and paste. I write each message. Well, it seems like a copy pasta because it's almost the exact same thing you've said on Tactical Gear hundreds of times at this point. Here's the first few of the exact same complaints with your customers and your customer experience over the last year. I appreciate this, but I don't copy and paste just an apology that I write. No templates. Listen, man, I know you don't actually copy and paste the exact same reply, but your replies are always the same. Just the exact same excuses. I saw your outline to fix these problems over a year ago on this sub, and people are having the exact same complaints today. Either your fix didn't work or you didn't implement it properly, and you wouldn't be getting the exact same complaints today. I didn't mention this, but we stopped saying anything is another week. Op's last message from customer service was that we have no timeline on these helmets. Thank you so much for the patience. You'll love the helmet. Unless you ordered an Armor Source AS200 back in March 3rd, 2024, in which case you only get your Cayman if you give me an extra $1,500. Go fuck yourself.